What's good, fam? Drake looks like a total clown right now because the legal geniuses over at Yale Law School stepped in to put his entire team in a body bag. This embarrassing situation shows exactly what happens when a rapper tries using the federal court system to fix a reputation that Kendrick Lamar already turned into dust. On April 3rd, 2026, the Floyd Abrams Institute for Freedom of Expression at Yale Law School officially entered the arena by filing a massive amicus brief against the boy. This document is way more serious than a salty tweet from a hater, as the smartest legal minds in the country are basically telling a federal court that Drake is full of S***T. While the filing technically supports Universal Music Group in the Second Circuit Court of Appeals, its real purpose is to ensure Drake's defamation suit remains dead and buried exactly where it belongs. Legal heavyweights like prominent defamation scholar Professor Larissa Litsky led the charge alongside attorneys John Langford and David A. Schultz. Students at Yale like Tess Solomon and Raymond Perez also worked in the lab to help craft this document that describes Drake's legal logic as a complete joke. Watching the literal Ivy League explain why his appeal lacks any merit is a huge embarrassment for a guy who still claims he is the greatest of all time. These professors told the judges that Drake is attempting to break the rules of free speech simply because his feelings got hurt by a much better rapper. When the people who actually write the law books call you out like this, your credibility takes a massive hit and there is absolutely nowhere left to hide. Drake believed he could bully Universal Music Group into helping him scrub his losses from the internet, but the Floyd Abrams Institute is making sure that plan fails miserably. They defended the principle that rap battles represent a protected form of expression, which makes Drake's attempt to sue his way out of a loss a threat to the entire culture. These Yale scholars move beyond dry legal talk to use a savage analogy that explains exactly why Drake is losing this battle for good. They compared the boy to a self-assured boxer who goes out of his way to challenge a world champion to a high-stakes prize fight before getting his head cracked. Kendrick Lamar acted as the champion in this scenario, stepping into the ring to deliver a knockout blow on live television while the whole world watched and cheered. After the referee already counted him out, Drake is now trying to run to a judge to sue the other guy for battery because he disliked how those punches felt. The Yale brief argued that the lyrics in Not Like Us occurred within the specific context of a heated rap battle that Drake himself initiated with his own tracks. Since Drake invited the competition and kept asking for the smoke, he cannot suddenly play the victim just because Kendrick actually stepped into that ring and won. This legal perspective framed Drake's massive 60-page appeal from January 2026 as nothing more than a desperate round of pure damage control. His filing represents a desperate attempt to save face by trying to rewrite the history of a beef that he started and then lost in a public way. These scholars made it clear that a person cannot agree to a fight and then call the cops the moment they get their head cracked open. Kendrick did nothing wrong by winning a battle that Drake spent months begging for in his own songs. Yale Law School used sports analogies to mock Drake's legal strategy, which showed exactly how little respect the legal community currently feels for this lawsuit. These experts saw right through the nonsense and called it a weak move by a guy who cannot handle the fact that he is not the king anymore. Drake tried to treat a federal courtroom like his personal diary, but the smartest people in the room are absolutely not having it. They told him to take his loss and go home instead of wasting everyone's time with these meritless claims. This situation proved that Kendrick Lamar did not just win the rap beef, but he won the narrative so thoroughly that even law professors are jumping in to finish the job. Drake looks more desperate by the day, and this Yale filing might represent the final nail in the coffin for his attempt to sue his way back into relevance. We are witnessing a legendary crash out in real time, and things just keep getting worse for the sixth god. The Yale legal team is actually using the words of the boy to bury him under the jail, which is the ultimate backfire for his reputation. They are leaning hard on the constant defense because New York law says that is an absolute shield against any defamation claim you might try to file. If you tell someone to say something about you, then you lose the right to sue them when they actually follow through with it. These scholars at Yale pointed right back to April 19th of 2024, which was the day Drake dropped that strange tailor-made freestyle. On that specific track, Drake was taunting Kendrick Lamar and begging him to talk about the rumors regarding his preference for young girls. He was trying to act like a tough guy who could handle anything, but he accidentally handed Kendrick a legal get out of jail free card instead. When Kendrick finally took the bait and released Not Like Us on May 4th of 2024, he was just doing exactly what Drake had requested in the first place. The Yale brief argues that no one should be allowed to cry about defamation over claims they specifically asked their opponent to make during a high-stakes battle. Drake even admitted on camera that he knew exactly what was coming his way during the heat of the moment. During his track called The Hard Part 6, he said the Epstein angle was exactly what he expected Kendrick to use against him. By admitting that he anticipated those specific allegations and even baited them out, he proved that he consented to the entire exchange. Legal experts are now urging the federal court to establish a presumption of art for the entire music industry, which would be a massive win for the culture. This would mean that rap lyrics should never be treated as literal, factual admissions because they exist in a world of metaphor and competition. If Drake actually wins this appeal, it could destroy the way every rapper expresses themselves because every single punchline would suddenly become a legal liability. Yale is pointing out that Drake is trying to sacrifice the entire genre of hip-hop just to soothe his own bruised ego after Kendrick Lamar dismantled his whole career. While the Yale team is attacking from a constitutional angle, scholars at Howard and Tulane University just landed another hit that is even more damaging to his status. These legal minds are accusing Drake of introducing racial bias into the courtroom while being a total hypocrite about the art form he claims to love. They reminded the court that he was one of the loudest voices supporting the Protect Black Art campaign not too long ago. That movement was dedicated to making sure that prosecutors could not use rap lyrics against black artists in criminal trials, and the entire culture stood behind that cause. Now that he is the one who got cooked in a rap battle, he is trying to use those same lyrics as evidence to win a civil lawsuit. The scholars from Howard and Tulane are calling this out as a snake move because he is trying to weaponize the legal system against the very art form that made him a billionaire. He wants the court to treat the lyrics from Kendrick as literal facts when it helps his bank account, but he would be the first one screaming for protection if a prosecutor tried to use his own bars against him. This behavior proves that he does not actually care about the culture or the protection of black art unless it is benefiting him directly. The brief argues that treating these diss tracks as literal facts would set a dangerous precedent that could lead to the over-policing of hip-hop as a whole. Drake is out here acting like a federal agent just because he could not think of a better comeback to not like us. This whole legal battle looks like a desperate attempt to undo the damage that happened back in 2024, but the courts have already seen through the smoke. Back in October of 2025, Judge Jeanette Vargas already ruled that the claims in the songs from Kendrick were non-actionable opinions. She told him that getting insulted in a song is not the same thing as being defamed in an actual news report. Despite that clear loss, he pushed forward with this 60-page appeal in early 2026, and now the entire legal community is uniting to shut him down for good. Before we look at how these legal scholars are about to expose him for changing the rules of the game, tell me if y'all think dragging a rap beef into a courtroom is the softest move in history. Drop a comment and keep it a buck, then hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss the real. Let's keep it moving. The boy is attempting to dismantle the very pillars of hip-hop because he could not handle taking a public knockout in front of the whole world. Legal scholars from prestigious institutions like Yale, Howard, and Tulane are pointing out that he acts like the rules of the game no longer apply to him. You cannot claim the crown and then go running to a lawyer the moment a better rapper knocks you off your pedestal. This entire situation proves he might have been playing a character instead of actually living the culture he claimed to lead. Kendrick Lamar stayed within the lines of the genre by using his pen to question character and street credibility, and that is exactly what hip-hop has always been about. The sixth god chose to answer back with a lawsuit, which is easily the most embarrassing move anyone in his position could have made right now. Legal experts warn that if the court listens to his arguments, the rap industry will turn into a sterile corporate environment where bold artists get sued for their lyrics. They are fighting to keep art protected because they understand that hip-hop needs that competitive edge to stay raw and authentic. Aubrey is trying to pull the ladder up behind him now that he felt the sting of a loss, and the whole move just reeks of pure desperation. It is sad to see a man who reigned for a decade go out by using Ivy League technicalities to fight a battle he already lost in the streets. Kendrick Lamar has the luxury of staying quiet because some of the most brilliant legal minds on the planet are doing all the heavy lifting for him. They are proving the song stood as a fair fight, showing the OVO leader is a sore loser who would rather burn the genre down than admit he lost the match. This Yale brief will likely serve as the final nail in the coffin because judges rarely ignore the collective wisdom of the best constitutional scholars in America. The sixth god thought his bank account and his legal team could rewrite history, but he only ended up giving these professors a platform to document his failure forever. Before we finish up and watch him try to flip this absolute disaster into a win, I need to know what you all think about this Ivy League beatdown. I want to know if he is ruining the culture to save his face or if he has a legitimate reason to fight for his reputation in a courtroom. Tell me if Kendrick has officially ended this or if you think there is a path back for the boy after Yale put his business on Front Street. Make sure you hit that like button and subscribe so you never miss the next breakdown of this historic crash out. The OVO leader is currently failing on the charts and in the streets, and now he is even taking losses in the Ivy League classrooms. Being a fan of his right now must be exhausting, as Kendrick Lamar proves once again that he is the realest person in this entire industry. This entire legal drama is the perfect ending to a beef that changed the music business for the better. Kendrick sparked a movement that the smartest people in the world are now studying, and that is much bigger than just a few diss tracks. Drake continues playing checkers while the rest of the world has moved on to chess, and he is just now realizing that he is trapped in checkmate. This appeal will probably get tossed out faster than his last single, and he will truly have nowhere left to hide once that happens. The legal games are officially coming to an end, and he must face the reality that he invited this entire situation upon himself. He literally told Kendrick to speak on his name, and Kendrick did exactly that with enough force to make the whole world see the truth. The court of public opinion reached its verdict months ago, and now it looks like the federal courts are ready to sign off on the same conclusion. Drake takes another loss, and Yale Law School just made sure everyone saw the receipts in high definition. Drop your thoughts on him using the legal system like this in the comments, and I will catch you on the next one with no cap. Keep your eyes peeled because this conflict is far from over, and the real consequences are just starting to land on his doorstep. Dot stands tall while the boy is busy filing paperwork, and that really tells you everything you need to know about who actually runs the rap game.